Hi everyone, and welcome to today's advanced webinar. Today we will have a look a bit in new CAD tools which are available in 2.9.0 version, and let's get right into it. Before we start, my name is Marco, and yes, as already told, I will present you the today CAD functions. So you can see already here on the right tab main functions from CAD tab. Here is a nice example from construction side. They did a really great excavation already, and yes, maybe let's just start right into it. So first of all, here is select tool. Here we have a multiple select tool, and here we have a measurement tool. Then there are some additional tools we will have a look a bit later. Before we continue, if we go a bit down here on the right side, here is a list of layers. What I will do now, I will first just create a new layer, let's say measurements. I will make this layer active. I can go to change another colors, but yes, let's leave it as a default. The default color is actually, when you're drawing, it's white. When you print out or export as a PDF, it's actually black. Then you can set the thickness of lines and so on. I will go to 3. And first, I would like to show you basic measuring tools. When you click this tool, here are additional options available. So point snapping, it means we are snapping to direct point of the point cloud. Interpolate snapper means we are actually calculating new points and averaging the height which are in the center of blue circle. And if we go a bit more down, here we can see tool settings. So we have display options. We can display 2D distance, we can display 3D distance, slope, and delta height. Right now, I'm interested in delta height, so actually how deep this construction site is. Of course, you can set also the text size. 10 is by default, and this is already okay. For now, I will use my point snapper tool, and let's have a look. So I will just click one point here on one point here on a point cloud, and then select down another one, and as you can see really quickly we can measure it. The deepness here is 9.49 meter. So let's go to the center of the construction site. We see here is even deeper. What we can do, we can snap to existing point, and let's select here on the lowest point actually. So let's try it here. So here we already have 13.25 meter. In between, when I'm in the CAD, I can also switch between tabs here. So if I go to point cloud, I can change my view options. And for now, I will use my height map that I can see, okay, here is probably even deeper place. So what I'm going to do, I can move back to CAD. I can select my measurement. Sorry, no, I move it to my, if I click escape, I actually go automatically to select option. And now I will select my measurement and just correct the position of measurements. Okay, so you can do all the manipulation. And then immediately you can see, so here is a 14.21, 23. Let's say this is my deepest point. Let's go back to point cloud, turn off the height map, back to CAD. And yes, as you can see, the deepness of this construction site currently is 14.22 meters. Okay, then here we have a nice slope. Let's check it out. Also another measurement. So what you could do additional layer if you like, measurement 2 or something like that. Let's change those measurements to orange color, thickness different, and once again, no, I would like to measure slope and 3D distance actually, and once again we can snap on it and we get the estimated value. Okay, so in this case we have a slope of 37.5 meters. So the same way you can measure almost any detail in CAD tab. You can do the measurement based on point cloud points. You can also, if you have a DSM, you can snap on vertex point, so anything like that. If you don't want to see measurements anymore, just unselect them here or select and delete them. Okay, cool. Let's turn them off for now, and let's go to our second very interesting tool. So here we can see a lot of roads, a lot of manholes, we can see road signs and everything like that. We can easily vectorize all those points, and let's try to do it with one small example. So now I will first go and create a new layer, let's say road. I will select this one. Let's put the road to the light blue one. Thickness is okay. And road I'm going to draw with my draw line tool. So when I click on the draw line tool, once again different snapper options. I will stay with point snapper. Then I can select on what I'm going to snap. So this is point snapping on point cloud point, this is end point, this is midpoint, nearest, and circle. So all the standard snappers are available. Once again, display options, why to use them. You can somehow help you when you are, let's say, drawing road, that you are not connecting lines every 20 centimeters or something like that. So usually when you're outside, you're measuring measuring vertexes or point of interest every 10 meters actually. And let's show it how it goes. So I'm just drawing based on my point cloud where I would like to go, and immediately I'm creating a 3D line. Let's make a thickness a bit to 3 so you can see it a bit better. So this is it. Maybe even better option for drawing objects like this is first to go to DSM, click on drape orthophoto, so that we stick actually orthophoto to our digital surface model to get a better presentation from whole model. This usually takes a couple of seconds because of the graphic card. And now you can even more detailedly see actually how the definition line should go. And then you can go back to CAD and turn on point cloud and DSM. Okay. Now we have textured DSM with point clouds behind, and in this way I can continue drawing. If I would like to continue, what I need to turn on is also my endpoint snapper. Now I can snap to my end line, and now I can really detail 3D vectorize road from my model. Okay, this is my accurate 3D line. Now one thing in addition, what can you do in addition is that you're creating 3D points on vertex points actually. So I will just put it here, name and height. Currently I don't need code. Let's do it first without it, and I will start continuing once again. Now as you can see, every time when I click, I actually create also 3D vertex point. And this point has written height on it. If I go here and select also code, let's say road, I will see also my code of the specific point. Okay, so really nicely designed. As you can see, you have any options here. even later. So now I'm going to click escape. I go to the main select part. Even later, you can change. If you have too much points here, you can decide if you would like to display them or no. Okay, so just go here and set to no, and now you don't have any heights anymore. Okay, so in this way you can solve all possible scenarios actually, and really effectively and quickly draw your survey map out of photogrammetry data. Okay, let's continue with another part. I would just like to show you one additional trick. So if you click something, I don't know, unexpectedly, like so, and you would like to go one step back, just click on backspace on keyboard, and every time you click, you actually delete the last point. If you click on escape, you will lose the whole line. Actually, you will finish the line with the last confirmed points. Okay, so points are still there because we use them for additional drawing. What you can do really quickly, go to multiple selection tool, select those points you would like to delete, and click on delete button on your keyboard. Okay. Great. So this was a basic draw line tool. Then in this case, you can go and vectorize the lower boundary of the construction site, the upper boundary of the construction site. Maybe let's just quickly do it. Because here is a big displacement in height, the DSM model is maybe not the perfect one. That's why I will go and turn off point cloud and DSM view. And let's make additional layer. Sorry. So construction low. Let's take it like that. Let's make it a red one. And once again, draw line. Okay, 2D is cool. I don't need currently vertex point, and I will just start to vectorize it. So you can do the rotation, you can pan in between. Even what you can do, go to point cloud tab, increase point render size. This point cloud was calculated, I think, on low or medium level, so it's not so detailed, but good enough for standard construction, so standard surveying work. And right now I'm connecting the lower boundary of this construction site. Okay, let's continue here. So as you can see, now I'm doing a big movements for 33 meters, actually 34 meters, but this is actually everything. It's pretty straight here. That's why I can do it in this way. And now if I would like to have additional point here without code, I can just select it here and immediately I have. Let's have two of them, turn them off, continue without height. Okay, here is another change. So right now I would like to have, in addition, another one. Okay, here not. So you can see nothing is hidden, it's just one click away. When you get a bit of practice, everything goes pretty smoothly. Okay, few more points. Let's turn them off now. So in case you would do this with traditional technology, you know, you couldn't done this probably with the GPS because of low signal. We are pretty near the walls and this is more than 15 meters height, so definitely there will be some problematic parts to measure it with GPS. If you will stand here with the total station, you wouldn't probably see the other part. So It's actually pretty effective way to measuring distances, to creating 3D lines, anything like that in an office, in a nice environment. So you just do the data acquisition. It took us 50 minutes for this construction site. Then we measured additional ground control points, additional, let's say, 20 minutes or something like that. And everything else, you can do that easily in an office. Okay, so this was the draw line tool. Everything what you actually draw here, it's also visible on the orthophoto. Okay, so as you can see it here, our boundary and of course our road also. Let's go back to CAD tab. And then I would like to show you one additional function here. So we have a lot of manholes here. Let's just smaller the point render size, that this will be better visible, and turn back now point cloud and DSM. So as you can see, here is a lot of details. Okay, so here is one electric one from phone manhole or something like that. So a lot of different types. What you can do, you can create 3D points with our point drawing point tool. So now I'll go to this one. I'll create a new layer, let's say 3D point. Make the layer active. Select one of the color. Let's go to yellow one. It's nicely visible. And here you can decide, let's say for point code, electric should be my first one, because I was on the field. I know those two are actually manholes for electricity. Right now I cannot find the best match for the center, you see, because I'm snapping directly to point cloud points. In this case, I think the better option is to use interpolate snapper, set the diameter of blue circle, logical, and now you can create 3D point anywhere on the terrain. And we are just averaging the height. You can also see written height immediately. So in this case, it's 307.01, and this is my center. And like so, I just create a point name 22 with height and written text on it. Here is another one. Okay, and here is another one. Okay, immediately I create 3 of them. Okay, additional option. When you are in select tool, you can use double mouse click to focus on your area of interest, and then pretty precisely zoom in, check out how it goes. Okay, then let's go to another one. So new points. No, I will use without code. I will just leave it like so and click all those points here. So it's the same way as you would be on a field, measuring almost in a real time. Okay, even if there are some things in the, let's say, in the middle of road or something like that. So as you know, it's pretty dangerous to running up and down on a street. So with this approach, you can create really quickly all 3D points the same way you would measuring on a field, and much safer than if you would measuring in a real environment actually. Okay, cool. So those were 3D points. Then we have some circles. It's a basic circle tool, actually nothing special. What I would like to show you in addition are then also manipulation tools with points. So if you need to change anything like that, you can select them anytime and move them to another position. Okay, so like so. Okay, I didn't do my selection pretty well, so I will just correct it like so. Then even if you like to change color, You can do it here in a element properties type, like so. For specific points, it's not a special. If I select it once again, you can move this one to different layer. Let's move this to, let's say, measurement. Okay. Now I click on escape and I lose my point actually. Okay, let's move this one in addition to measurements. And now actually is change layers. Okay, then another one. So this was point creating tools. Then if you like to change some coordinates or anything like that, you just need to click on the point, you see the 3D coordinate, and then actually when you set here the new value, let's say, let's move this 1 point to 310, we change actually the parameters of the point, and as you can see it, this is a new height of this point actually. Okay, then let's have a look about the export option of points and lines. So when you go to data and you select save CAD as, you can define in which file format you would like to save this point. All those file formats are available. Probably the most standard one is definitely the DXF file format. So I will just change name, points and lines, and save them in my folder. Let's go and have a quick view how it looks like. Okay, double mouse click. Couple of seconds. Right now I'm importing those points and lines in my true view, so it's a Autodesk viewer. Couple of more seconds, and yes, here we have them. Okay, so this is my construction site boundary, this is a part of the road, and my 3D points. Some are with code, the others are without. So everything it's nicely exported also with codes. If I turn off the heights, you can see no more heights here. Let's turn them back. And this is it. So if I do the 3D rotation, you can see it's exported in 3D. So you can continue connecting, you can add your topographic signs or anything like that based on results you exported from 3Dsurvey CAD tab. Then in addition, if you would like to export or import to AutoCAD or similar CAD softwares those points as a block, we advise you to export those points as a TXT file. So let's go to data, save CAD as, and select here the DXF file format. Now we will have just 3D points. And here you can define the separator. So let's leave it space here. The decimal space, point colors, point code. Let's leave it as a default. And let's have a quick view. What is the result? So all points which are created here are listed here. I didn't select the point cloud in addition, point code in addition. Let's do once again. So data, save CAD as. I will just override this one with a text file format. Yes. And now I will add point color in point code in addition. Let's have a view. Yes, and here it is. So points which don't have code are displayed without code. Where we create a code in addition, we have road, electric, anything like that. So then if you have a system that automatically recognize codes, it can automatically actually connect the lines based on these points later on. Okay, cool. So this was the 3D point. As you can see, those points are designed in surveying mentalities, so you immediately see where you're connecting. When is this really interesting? Usually when you try to connect the curves or something like that, where this needs to be really precise, then it's nice to know on which height you're actually snapping. Okay, so let's say no, I would just like to have a point on it with height. So now I can really see if I'm on the lower part of the curve or I move to the upper one. So we see on the lower we have 306.75. On the upper one we have 306.87. So this is like 12 centimeters. Because this is not extremely dense point cloud, it's even harder. So in this case would be better to calculate it the point cloud on extreme level, and then it will be easier to decide which point is on the lower part of the curve and which one is on the upper one. But yes, even here we can do this pretty nicely. Okay, let's open another project in addition, where we have a one house. Okay, couple more seconds because it's a bit bigger object. Okay, here I also calculate, here I also do the comparison with the point cloud quality of the 2.83 algorithm and 2.90 algorithm. So as we can see, same images, same camera positions, but the results with a 2.90 each is much nicer. And because yes, today we're looking what can you do with a CAD tab, I would like to show you maybe the easiest way how to draw out the boundary of a house if you don't need the position of a points on the 0 level, so on the terrain level. In this case, I would advise you to use our bounding box. So let's do it like so, that you can just focus on your area of interest. I'm using right mouse click to move the planes. Then if I go on the corner, I can also rotate the bounding box. Now it fits perfectly. Let's go a bit near. Also here. Okay, I'm losing the roof, but I don't need it right now. And then move the planes also from upper and lower position. And now if I turn it off, I can almost perfectly see my boundary of a house. And let's go now to CAD tab, create a new layer, house, make the layer active. I will take the red color, and now I'm going to draw it. I will use in this case interpolate snapper because it's easier. And let's just start drawing. So here is my first corner. The house is pretty simple, so actually just a simple square. Okay, I connect this first line. Here is my second one. Let's move it to third one. Okay, here we have some rock details. That's why it's going a bit differently. And now I just need to snap to my endpoint. In this case, I need to go to the point snapper, and I have already endpoint snapper on. So, sorry, let me just delete the other ones. It's the safest way. And now I finish actually with my one house example, how to connect it. Let's click on reset view and inspect how I actually connect these lines. Okay, looks all good to me. So as you can see, we were pretty high. And now if I need to have just few points from the height, I can use draw point tool and just click my elevation point. Like, okay, I need a single point here for my height estimation. I need another one here. Okay, let's go to the other side. And one more here. Okay, and then actually when we look this in a top-down view, ortho mode, everything should pass really nicely together because the walls are vertical. In this case, I really quickly create actually a boundary of a house and few additional points. Okay, I turn the house upside down. Then in addition, if you need any other 3D points, feel free to select any one of them. Okay, let's try to connect also roof here really quickly. Let's see how it goes. So roof, new layer. I'll take just a green color. I will snap on my point cloud points. Okay, set the thickness. What I advise you here, when you snap on it, okay, no, I'm in a drawing point tool, so I need to go to my draw line tool, and let's try to connect. So as you can see, my first point go actually through the roof. This is why I like to show you the most effective way. Now I click on the correct one. Sorry, I zoomed too much. So this is my second point. Every time when you click, make a small rotation that you will just see if you are on the right position. Okay. Zoom in a bit. Okay, here is my third point. Yes, it's nicely done. Do we need here a point in addition? Yes, we can have it one. So my fourth one, I'm just doing the rotation a bit. I would like to make the point render size a bit bigger, like so also. Here is my fourth one. Okay. Sorry, I need to go to CAD line. Sorry, to CAD tab. And then, now I need to start from my endpoint and continue drawing. In this case, I think we have a 50 million of points. That's why the model is also pretty accurate. So it's really easy to connect it. It's all good. Okay. Few more points. Okay, connected correctly. And my endpoint in addition, so we need to wait for the red square. Here it is, and we finish the connection. Okay, so the roof is done. Then let's go and connect also the middle parts of the roof, like so. Here. And finish it on endpoint. Right mouse click to finish the line. Once again, drawing on endpoint. We have here also endpoint. Here is another, like so. to the endpoint. Okay, and of course, also this part. Okay, so I think we connected the roof perfectly. Once again, don't forget, let me try to do a small mistake just to show you more realistic. So usually what happens really quickly, if we have also points on the back, okay, I did it perfectly here. Let's go maybe like so. Okay, I'm doing great snapping. But what I was trying to show you, if you don't connect it like so, it's great to rotate the model always. Then you immediately see, okay, I did a mistake. Just click on backspace, correct the position of it, and correct it. When you would like to finish, right mouse click, and that's it. Okay. Cool. So this was about the drawing. Then let's see those 3D lines without the point cloud. As you can see, it's here. Roof is really nicely described with these green lines. Then we have a red line for corners of the objects and few 3D points. Okay, this fourth point, number point, was done by mistake. I could go and delete it, so just select it. What's here interesting, oh sorry, you need to be in a select tool, so I will select it like so. What's here interesting, to be quicker, you don't need to go to the point. Even if you go over the text, the correct point is selected, and then just delete it, and that's it. And once again, to export it, data, save CAD as, select any of your preferable file format, and you're good to go actually. Okay. Then quick tip, double mouse click, zoom into detail, and continue drawing. If you are in drawing line tool, sometimes this is tricky function, this double mouse click, but with a bit of practice, everything works really nicely. Okay, so this was everything from today's webinar about CAD tools. Feel free to set your question in your question box, and I will try to answer them via replying on your question via email or directly in an easy webinar checkbox. Thank you for being with us, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you for listening.